Okay guys, so this is going to be a review of House of a Thousand Corpses. Okay, this has to be the weirdest film I've ever seen in my whole entire life, but we'll get into it in a minute. So this is written by Rob Zombie. There's a whole kind of history of this film, how like it was meant to be released, like Universal's meant to release it, but then they didn't want it. Basic, yeah, there's a whole, so you can search it. So the plot is basically a group of friends end up like running out of petrol and I come across this place that has petrol and this kind of like shop that sells kind of sort of like weird kind of like horror like knick-knack things. The owner there is like tells them about this legend and gives them a map, and well, that's when it all goes to shit. So first off, I really like the whole premise of the plot. I don't want to give it away, but basically everything's connected and everything. But I liked the plot. It was definitely different and definitely interesting. The thing I wasn't a massive fan of is the editing. So first off, this is gory. This is gory, like really gory. And when it gets the kind of gory kind of scenes, it kind of has like this edit where it's kind of like I don't want to say a filter because it sounds, when you say filter it sounds cheap, but I think it's the easiest way to explain it. It's kind of like this kind of filter. Sometimes it's kind of like grainy and stuff, and I think he did that to kind of add like a dramatic effect to it, but it's just no. Another thing is everything happens and it's just hot. You're probably thinking, what do you mean everything happens? That means it's good, but it can be like sometimes it's a little bit hard to follow. As I said, I think the main thing with it is the kind of editing of the film and how it's kind of like put together, because yeah, everything really happens all at once, but sometimes it's a little bit hard to follow. It's definitely a film, what I found is a film where you have to keep your eye on it, like totally, like keep your eye on it, like you can't just kind of just nip and get a drink, or or watch it while you're eating. You have to like full on concentrate on it, or I might be just a little bit stupid. But it's but other than that, it's an odd film. As I said, it is pretty gory, especially near enough to the end. It gets quite gory. As I said, I really like the plot and everything. It's an interesting plot. I believe this is like the first one out of like the trilogy of them. But it's, for me, I think it's like it's editing kind of let it down a little bit too much. I think if it was, I don't know, I'm not a director, I don't know what, but I think if it was done differently, I don't think it would have felt so overwhelming, if that makes any sense. But I know this is kind of like a cult classic. If I was to rate this, if I was to rate it out of 5, I don't know if 2.5 is a little bit harsh. I want to give it a 3, but I'm gonna give it I'm gonna give it a 2.5. It is an interesting film. If you like want to watch like a horror film, like if you're sick of these like Conjuring films and all this same sort of thing, then do check this out because it is definitely different. But for me, it's just a little bit all over the place. So that's it for this review. So bye guys.